Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in this world. I hope you're feeling good, living better, and striving for greater. It's your boy Jawan back again with another episode of the Constant Growth Series Part 2. In the previous episode, our previous vid upload, I stated how, self-destruction is a real thing, and if you don't work on your habits, work on your morale, and be around people who can feed into you in addition to you feeding into yourself, you will specifically self-destruct. And some of us don't crash out, some of us do. Um, this specific episode, I will be talking about purpose over pleasure. I read something the other day, and I think it was a good friend of mine. He stated that, you know, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And when I first started doing these videos, maybe 5 years ago, or just content, in general, just trying to build my brand and build a legacy for myself, not necessarily as an influencer, but, as someone who's speaking off life experience. I got lost in my own sauce. I believe that, I began to self-destruct when life started to throw more than 5 curveballs at a time. I come from a childhood of trauma and struggle. I come from, even young adulthood of trauma and struggle. And at that specific time in my life, I was definitely on go mode. I was definitely in a different headspace. I was working on my growth, doing my work, doing my inner work and my outer work, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. In the words of the mantra, a person of achieving excellence, living an extraordinary life, and that was defined how I wanted to live my life, not by what you see on social media or what you see, how society has been influenced. But sorry about that tangent. But going back in, purpose over pleasure. I was too focused on pleasure instead of my purpose, and therefore got caught off track, trying to be something I wasn't ready for, and do things I wasn't ready for when I could have just, or should have just, stayed in my bag and kept my head down and focused on my growth. Because at the end of the day, when you use your passion to focus on purpose, everything else comes after. Again, hard times create strong men create good times. And once I got to the good times, I was too focused on the good times so much that where I became a weak man or a low value man. And that's just from me speaking from my perspective. It cost me my marriage. It cost me, my relationship with my children. It cost me, it put me in a position that I at the time of making this video, currently in. I worked so hard to get 6 steps forward. Now I'm 10 steps back, and that's because I utilized pleasure over my purpose. I was too focused on being the party dude. I was too focused on living a certain lifestyle that, in reality, didn't deserve at the time. Yeah, but you got to keep working until where you can retire everything your family owns. And I said that since I'm not sure goal, that type of work ethic. Even though every time could be a good time, I still would. Even if I fall on my face, I can get back up, stand 10 toes. But yeah, this journey, and for all my young men out there, ages 18 to 25, who's still figuring out life. I mean, at the end of the day, we all are still figuring out life. Life is about figuring it out. If you figured out life, it's because you're retired. You're like 65. You've lived a life. You've learned so many lessons from the experiences you've had. But for my young brothers out there, my young men, my high value men who, are truly on their path, keep that purpose in mind every day you wake up, in everything that you do, in the woman you choose, or whoever you choose, whatever your preference is. I know we're in a day of age of new identities, etc. But like, keep that purpose first, because you keep that purpose in line with your passion and focus on those specific goals, whether that's going to school, whether that's starting a business, whether that's playing your Division 1 athlete, whatever it is. Keep that purpose in mind, and don't let anything or anyone deter you from what your true purpose is, because at the end of the day, what's meant for you will be meant for you. And like I said, when you create those good times, you don't need to live in those good times indefinitely. You don't, because that's what's going to make you become, not necessarily make you become weak, but you're going to get too accustomed to that lifestyle of just party. Like, unless you don't have the discipline, is what I'm saying. If you have the discipline, kudos to you. You've learned something that most people have not. And it's not easy. You know, the amount of times this year alone, 2025, I've beaten myself up because, again, I was 6 steps forward than I have ever been in my life. And three, not terrible decisions, but three decisions that should have not been made have set me 10 steps back. So now I'm back again playing catch up. And it's okay. We fall down, but we get up. But for my brothers who stay down, understand that you need to be around people that's going to fill into your cup, because everything is not about pleasure. Passion plus purpose plus persistence and patience. That's just four of the 6 P's, I believe. I think there's 9, but 4 of the 6 P's, the basic 6 P's: passion, purpose, persistence, and patience, will get you so much farther than adding pleasure into that. Again, like I said before, I hope you're feeling good, living better, striving for greater. See you next time. Peace.